changes were made to this propulsion system for any North American deployment?
Well, it is all new for the North American environment. The engine, we're actually using the 1.6 liter that's in production for a couple of years now. It's the third generation of the engine in Europe. So we did change some of the engine principles of how it operates in a Miller cycle environment to put it behind a head. The transmission is brand new, the battery is brand new, and we've integrated it all with our own proprietary control system. So it's basically, everything's new except for the engine's been modified from a European.
Thanks, Mickey. One question, easy one for Bob. Where will Jeep Cherokee be sold?
North America.
North America. Okay, we'll take, we got some mics coming around. We'll go, yeah, right here, Holly, if you want to, yeah, Sam?
Thanks. So where is the Cherokee going to be assembled? And beyond the hybrid, you mentioned launching the hybrid only, will there be other powertrain options at some point?
Yeah, look, I think the easiest for us, and we've had a lot of these conversations, I think there's a lot of opportunity regarding powertrains in general across Jeep. So we've got a number of investigates out there across the entire lineup. You'll see a lot more from us there. We've got a hybrid to get started, and then the production is built into Fluke Mexico.
Oh, one other thing, is this transfer, is it going to be available as a front-wheel drive or just all-wheel drive, four-wheel drive?
East-west engine, all-wheel drive at launch, more coming later. And as you mentioned, Trackhawk also will come later. Trackhawk version will come later. Trailhawk, excuse me. Trailhawk.
Trackhawk got
No
people.
Trackhawk to announce today.
People are like, what? What is superchargers for everyone?
No Trackhawk. Another question from the audience? Gabby's got her hand up back there. Oh, sorry, yes, sorry. Then we'll go to Gabby.
Two things I want to pick up on. Number one, Bob, if you could, you said there will be 4 coming in the next 4 months. You mentioned 3 of them. Can you mention, first of all, what the 4?
Well, yeah, you're probably, so you got 2 refreshes. So first, Cherokee, Grand Wagoneer, Recon.
And if we can talk about powertrain, so you're saying, basically, looking forward, we're going to be seeing a lot more emphasis on muscle in this brand. Can you go a little bit more into that? And how much did you feel freed up by Trump administration moves where they're no longer going to be collecting fines for violating fuel economy standards and now apparently rolling back those standards anyway?
From my very first day, just even in the North American job, people want choice. They want this return to our roots. They want power in Jeep. So much of the complexity that was reduced out of the cars also lost some of the love that I think our customers had. Powertrains are the heart and soul of a car. That is what needs to be there. And in order to give the experience we need, having one set of powertrain isn't going to cut. So there's a number of products that I'm very interested in to bring more of those personalities that powertrains provide. So that's like, I've been very open to that. You guys have known me most of my career. I don't mind throwing a bigger engine in the car and having some fun with it. So we've got a lot of aspirations in that space. So you'll see us bring that back. And then the second part of your question, Trump.
How much?
Yeah, look, here, I guess, through all of the leadership, administration changes, everything we think that we've got more opportunities to add more powertrains into our lineup and still meet all of the future needs that are required, not just in the U.S., but globally, right? We have to think global when we think about Jeep. So there's lots of constraints and CAFE and all the fun guidelines, right?
Cool. We'll go to Gabby after this. I got one from the virtual audience for the designers. How do you think about designing, or do you think about designing for a hybrid different from other propulsion systems when designing a hybrid vehicle?
I mean, I think for probably affects the exterior most, but mainly, I guess not really. With each powertrain, where range is important, miles per gallon are important, and probably the biggest enabler that we can help with is aerodynamics. So to try to balance rugged Jeep boxy silhouettes with aerodynamics is really where we put the most effort in as far as that goes.
Yeah, and something that I just want to sort of add to that, right? When we ask these guys to design a product and we have a customer in mind, I personally, in the Jeep brand, I don't think we need to make a car weird or exotic or it needs to be something unique just because of a propulsion system. Right? The DNA of a brand and what a Jeep means, there's a certain exterior, a certain look that's required, and the propulsion system is just the way to get there. It doesn't have to be the identifying characteristic of what that product needs to be. So, and you saw that like early web days, right? We would have just strange future tech things that a lot of people did. I'd rather stay true to our roots, be very much a true, Jeep DNA that's got great powertrain choices, and we're going to leave that choice up to our customers on what they want.
Cool, thanks, Bob. Gabby?
Hey guys, thanks, looks cool. Couple questions. One, I just want to clarify the point about powertrain. So it's launching with this hybrid that came, it's part of the platform is STLA Large. The hybrid powertrain is, part of it came, you said something about how can I ask this? Basically, let me say this, it's launching with a 4-cylinder turbo engine. That's what's powering this hybrid version. But you're saying that in the future, you may bring other powertrains in there that could be more electric, or it could be like more ICE. Like you talked about at the beginning about Hemi, or I don't know if that's extreme for the Cherokee, or like a V6 or something. Can you just talk about? Can you say anything more, or just clarify what the other powertrain options could be in the future? That's my first question. That I have one of them.
You want to talk about powertrain first?
Yeah, just, I think you're asking a couple questions. So STLA Large is the platform, as you said, and whether we want the Wagoneer S off of it, the Daytona's off of it, the Recon will be off of it. In those, we have different powertrains. We've got the battery electric version, as you know. We've announced ICE is coming into the other vehicles, and this is just one of those combinations with this versatile platform allows us to do. So in this one, it's an east-west configuration for us powertrain junkies, and we're using a 1.6-liter engine that's been modified, took it out of our European operations, localized it here in Dundee, Michigan, and then we put the whole system together with a EVT transmission. So it's a 2-motor EVT hybrid transmission. And as far as other powertrains, the list I get from these guys is long. So we're here to please what they need. It's a busy day in powertrain.
But it's suffice to say that it could be kind of more on the spectrum towards the bigger, more powerful, less fuel economy, the freedom that the Jeep, like you talked about at the beginning, Bob. Trump has zeroed out the cafe rules. You guys have more flexibility to give the people what they want, basically. So when you talk about what's coming or what could come, it can include options more on that side of the spectrum. I guess that's my.
Yeah, there isn't anything honestly addressed any powertrain that if it's fun, heritage, like something that you guys would get excited about, yeah, probably have everyone bashing that already. So.
Okay, and then I'm sorry. My second one is on the last earnings call. Antonio Filosa talked about how they were making some tweaks to the Cherokee to kind of try to get some of the cost out because of the tariff costs it faces because it's made in Mexico. And I understand that's still a moving target with the president. But so, can you say anything about what changes y'all made in this kind of interim period while this was all going on to try to get your profit margin up on this car, given you do face that tariff headwind?
Yeah, look, for us, obviously, like, let's get more into the business side, right? But the gross margin of a car is the great enabler on what you can do from everything from retail payments to lease payments to total discounts overall. But for us, it's more about efficiency. And you've heard us talk about leveraging suppliers, leveraging those relationships, rethinking some of the things that were done. There's a lot that can be done just by doing that alone to rework those things and optimize those solutions. A lot of it gets into the nitty-gritty. Like, we're talking down to parts and pieces and really talking about how we leverage labor. All of those things, whether it's fixed or variable expense, go into it. So that's kind of what he was referring to. We have a team that is so dedicated to trying to optimize these things, which will help the overall profitability of the company, and things I think we can do from a relationship building that will then translate to the fixed expense of the car.
Okay, so sourcing decisions on the supply chain.
Yeah,
you guys have talked about trying to move more to the US and all that.
Yeah, the one piece that you will not see, like when it comes, we're not messing with content. This isn't a content thing. We're not de-contenting cars. We're going to make great cars that people love. Like, that's off limits. And we will make the right thing at the right time. We talked about pricing and talked about too with content. As long as we unlock the ability for customers to get what they want, which is kind of what I was talking about with the fender flares earlier, you guys kind of gave us a lot of grief over pricing. Well, when I hold everything hostage and all the content is held really, really high and you have to bundle it together to get what you want, that drives the price up. If I unlock it so you can get what you want, we can drive prices down, I can make the cost drop because I'm increasing the frequency of that part. All of those things are just optimization strategies. So
We'll go to a question, Gabby, will get you.
Gabby, you're an animal, by the way. I think I have like 4 articles from you this morning alone.
Yeah. So Gabby, we got to go to the couple online, but we'll come back later.
Go ahead, what do you want to
A couple of others. There's one, I can probably take this. Grand Wagoneer is being updated, but not Wagoneer. Why not update them both at the same time? So we don't have anything to announce on Wagoneer today, but stay tuned. As Bob said, you'll hear more from him quite a bit in the next couple of months. So more on what's going on with Wagoneer soon.
Yeah, say this, you're gonna yell at me. It's just like he's like, don't do it.
I mean, you're the boss,
Listen,
so.
yeah, look, here, we're gonna take our entire approach to the large SUV, and there is a way to optimize this, improve this, maximize it. I think it's a great first step into the segment. There's so much opportunity here. He knows I'm massively bullish about this segment and what we can do with this car. I love driving this car. I've driven it all over the country. My son's playing soccer. So we're gonna have some fun with this. Just stay tuned in the storytelling on how we unfold everything that is large UV. Guys, stay tuned.
Right here.
So just a real quick housekeeping question first. All the stuff you said before the Cherokee thing started, not covered by embargo, right?
Anything Cherokee related under embargo, everything else about those other 3 vehicles that are coming, Grand Wagoneer, Hemi, that's all free game.
Got it. So this is going to be the first vehicle you guys are going to do on this platform that theoretically has some 4x4 aspirations. Are you prepared to talk about what you're doing with this platform in terms of like Trailhawk readiness, getting ahead of the kind of 4x4 curve?
No, the only thing that by telling you that you don't want me to say the word Trailhawk today, it's this, right? I can't get on stage and tell you we're gonna have fun, we're getting back to our roots, and then I walk up here and I show you a Jeep and don't show you the Trailhawk off-road version that is the lifestyle part of the brand. So it's more to me just being aware of. It's contradictory for me to say, look, we're gonna make fun, we're gonna make badass Jeeps that go off-road, and then not show you one right now. Like, you haven't seen all the pieces, let me tell you the whole story, and that's kind of why I mentioned it now. I don't want anyone to think that we aren't, like, we're not soft. We're gonna get back to what we do and have a lot of fun, and I think there's so many opportunities to do it, and this car's just one of them. So that's why I bring that up. You wanna say anything about the Propulsion, 4x4 and all-wheel drive and everything's all
It's an all-wheel drive system now. You can drive this off-road. It's not trail rated, this version, but that'll be kind of what we talked about on the Trailhawk, not to confuse people again. But my team's driving this all over the country right now, and more to come on the next version of it. But it's capable. It's a very capable vehicle right now.
Couple more questions. Yeah, right behind you. Yeah. No, yeah.
Just two kind of related questions. First off, could you talk a little bit about what caused the sort of hiatus between Cherokee models? And also, with the hiatus between models, I was curious about your decision to continue using the Cherokee name as opposed to maybe switching to something different, since you have received some criticism about the Cherokee name in the past.
Yeah, the first one, so it's just like Andy's like the hairs on the back of his neck are up. In my personal opinion, leaving the segment could have been very beneficial to us over that extended period of time. Probably a more optimal strategy. Is that politically correct enough for you? Okay. Yeah, so I said that correct. So yes, I wish I would have had the midsize the entire time. As far as the Cherokee name, look, it's deep part of our heritage. It's a well-recognized name. I mean, you can still buy a Cherokee today. So I think walking away from something that we built with all the great history and respect and everything that goes into the history before me to get here, I still think it was appropriate to honor that heritage and still do it in a very respectful way. And I think between Grand Cherokee and Cherokee, I think we still do that.
And we had to make 12-year-old Vince happy for the Cherokee. Pass the mic down to this end. As we do that, we'll go right here. Yep.
Yeah. The previous generation of the Cherokee was well appreciated for the towing capacity. Where are we with this new generation? And also, could you name a few direct competitors of this new Cherokee?
So it's 3,500 pounds. So that'll put you right on anybody else segment leading right there. So let's call it mid-size UV competitors. I think for this one, yeah, it's I think anybody, well first, And what you want me to answer is these are the guys that are in the segment that we typically classify. I actually think that what we tend to pick up with this car is you're going to get a lot of pull from a lot of different places. First, I don't think people necessarily think of us in hybrid, so I think they'll stop and they'll take a look. I think that's an opportunity for you customers. I think the functionality, if you look at how customers are migrating right now, many of them obviously are paying the challenge, right? They've got a lot of issues in the marketplace, so they want a non-stop, also type of, all functional solution. So all-wheel drive, towing, cargo, so Jeep, right? Still got a lot of that. So I think they're going to get a lot of different kind of people who will come back to us, and it's a great value equation. So obviously, traditional mid-size UVs, sure. Do I think people in the bottom of the full size could even stop and go, oh, that's a pretty interesting value proposition? So I think you're going to get all of that. And then plus, obviously, the traditional mid-size UV players, right? I think that's what will happen, but I'm very interested to see the inflow. This is where we geek out about selling cars. I love this stuff, but I think it'll be interesting to see what happens.
We'll take one more question from online, and then one more, and then 1 o'clock, and then we're going to do a little scrum up here, so whoever has more questions. This was probably for Micky. Micky, on the powertrain, what have you learned from any of our European counterparts, or any of the vehicles that we've maybe done from a powertrain perspective, hybrid or otherwise, in Europe?
Well, simple, I have all the powertrains around the world, so it's easy for me to look at all my children around the world. This is a very good engine. It's a third generation of the 1.6 liter turbo engine. We have very good success in Europe with this and volumes behind it. What we've done with that is this propulsion system, really the only thing that has connection to that is that engine being localized here, as I mentioned. The transmission, never been used before in our company. It's a brand new EVT two-motor system. And the battery is all been specifically designed for this one. So we didn't take a system that we had over in Europe. Because over in Europe we have an EDCT transmission that is a mild hybrid 48 volt. This is a 350 volt full hybrid system that we have running here. So it took a few good pieces and then we added a whole bunch of goodness around it to put in this vehicle. So I'm really excited to get it out in the open because it's always been a part of this plan. It wasn't something we did in the last 6 months. It's been in the product plan for us to launch this new propulsion system. And the team's been busting their butts the last 2.5 years, very quietly, and now we're bringing it to life.
One more over here, and then we'll finish with Phelan, and then we'll come up. So, yeah, one more.
Can you speak to the competitive set? Who are you seeing as the key rivals here? And I mean, is it based on sales? Is it the CRV? Is it the Toyota RAV4? Or does this vehicle, as it's coming off the line right now, before Trailhawk comes along, are you thinking that this is somehow more off-road ready, off-road capable than other mid-sized CUVs that are in the market currently?
Sort of back to this question, but there's two that I'll say are core, right? Obviously, if you're a mid-sized buyer, a Jeep buyer historically, I think you're going to stop and take a look. And then obviously, if you're interested in hybrid, like I spent a week with Edmunds, kind of like going through the data. The amount of people that are shopping the word hybrid, the overall reaction on Google searches, more and more people are looking for this type of optimization of electrification, and the different powertrains give them choice, and it's really about changing in behavior. So if you think about mentally somebody that has to go all the way to a plug, or all the way to a PHEV or a BEV, etc., you're asking them to change their behavior significantly. With a hybrid with no plug, it's minimal change. So an ICE buyer that needs functionality, let's call it right, mid-30s up to upper 30s price point, it's a hell of a value proposition, and you get your introduction to electrification with hybrid, I think you're going to pull a lot of people that'll come in. So core Jeep, core mid-size UV buyers, and then you got this whole other thing of people that are interested in hybrids that come from different areas. Like
last one. Oh, sorry. Follow up, quick.
What it is?
You didn't address the question of off-road capable. Is this
Oh,
something
yeah.
more off-road capable than other stuff that you're seeing in the market currently?
It's a Jeep. So as long as it's true to our DNA and what we need to do, and then we give you the next variant with the Trailhawk up, that is our playbook. So it needs to be a Jeep first and foremost, it needs to have 4x4, and then we need to have some segment-leading off-road capability with our most extreme versions across everything we do. That's been tried and true Jeep forever.
Thanks, Mark. Last one.
Thank you, Andy. Two really quick ones. Where's the battery produced?
I'm sorry, Mark, I didn't battery.
Where is the battery produced?
We're not going to say who the partner is right now because we'll come later for that, but it is offshore.
Okay, thank you. And the hybrid system, is it a physical connection or is it an e-axle?
No, it's a physical clutch system, so planetary gear set, 2 electric motors, EVT, straight EVT, and we can lock the clutches up. You have to have that off-road capability, and it's mechanical rear-wheel drive.
Excellent, thank you.
Thanks, Mark. All right, everybody, thank you so much. With that, we are going to break. It's about 1.
But it's, but I mean,
It's still large.
suspension.
How's the legroom?
It's actually really good.
Headroom too, pretty good, huh?
Yeah, massive amount of
Yeah.
So different